Pokémon Horizons episode 71 just aired, and dude, it dropped a huge bombshell about a certain important character. We've really got to talk about this right now because the implications are so exciting. So let's review Pokémon Horizons episode 71 in this video. The episode begins with Liko, Roy, Dot and Friede finally arriving at the crystal pool at the top of the mountain to find Briar, and Friede and Roy theorize that the crystals here could be related to why Pokémon can terrestrialize in Kitakami, like those annoying, obnoxious, pesky birds did in the previous episode. And Liko reads a sign at the pool saying at the crystal pool you can speak to dead people. They find that really crazy, understandably so. Friede heads off to find Briar, and can I just say, dude, I love that the writers are finally getting rid of Friede every time a threat is about to arrive. Finally, Friede isn't saving the day every episode. Finally, our heroes are doing it themselves. Because yeah, Friede heads off and then a big, powerful, angry Milotic appears from the water. Milotic then terrestrializes into a ghost-type Pokemon, and dude, I really love this little nod. The crystal pool allows you to speak to dead people, so having a ghost-type Milotic appear is so fitting. It's literally dead. A ghost, you know? I really love that. It's like the perfect type to terrestrialize into. Liko, Roy and Dot begin battling Milotic, but Milotic easily counters every move, and dodges every move, and hits him back even harder. And Florigato tries to hold onto Milotic with her yo-yo while Crocalor attacks, but Milotic just drags Florigato underwater. Milotic is really powerful, dude. Liko, Roy and Dot then come up with a really cool, fitting strategy. Basically, Florigato ties her yo-yo around Quaxwell like a fishing rod, with Quaxwell being the bait at the end of the rod, and then Quaxwell dances around in the water to lure Milotic out, and then when Milotic takes the bait, Florigato pulls Quaxwell backwards like a fishing rod, and Crocalor takes the moment to attack with Disarming Voice. It hits pretty hard, but then Milotic uses Disarming Voice back at Crocalor, and Crocalor and Milotic get into a bit of a sing-off. They both keep using Disarming Voice against each other, and they end up communicating through it and becoming friends through singing. It really is sweet and funny, dude, and Milotic is happy now and heads off. Shortly after, Briar arrives and meets our heroes, and she goes absolutely crazy over Liko's Terrapagos. Terrapagos is what she's been researching for like her whole life, you know? So she's really excited, and it's really nice to see. Kinda makes me think about a possible future where Briar gets so obsessed with her research into Terrapagos that she kind of lets it take over her life and gets blinded by it and maybe turns into a bit of a villain. I know that probably won't happen, but that'd be a really cool twist, man. Anyway, that evening, Liko tells Briar about Terrapagos and her grandma's pendant and Lucius and Rakua and the 6 heroes and everything, and then Briar shows them her Scarlet book and tells them about Heath, an old researcher hundreds of years ago, her ancestor, and also the author of the Scarlet book. And basically, Heath explored Area 0 and found Terrapagos at its depths all that time ago, and he was the first one to ever do it. And that's why Briar is so obsessed with Terrapagos in Area 0 too. She really wants to be the one to finish her ancestor's research and prove him right. I really love this similarity established between Liko and Briar here. Briar wants to study Terrapagos in Area 0 because of her ancestor Heath's research, and Liko wants to study Terrapagos and Rakua because of her grandmother Diana's research. That's a really nice dynamic between them, you know? They're like kindred spirits. Our heroes theorize that Lucius must have been a fan of Heath's research in the past, and Briar tells them that Terrapagos' bigger form is called its terrestrial form. They all theorize that the connection between Terrapagos and the other 6 heroes could be strong enough to cause the terrestrial form, and that really has me thinking, dude. Terrapagos is getting more and more powerful the more of the 6 heroes are being reunited with it, so I can't wait to see how powerful Terrapagos becomes when all of them are together, you know? And if Terrapagos gets powered up when being around the 6 hero Pokemon, that makes me theorize that maybe Terrapagos spread its power between the 6 heroes. Maybe back when Lucius and Terrapagos and the 6 heroes were together at Rakua, maybe for one reason or another Terrapagos had to split its power between all 6 of the heroes. And maybe that's why the 6 heroes are so powerful compared to regular Pokemon. That's a really intriguing concept, dude, and I'm interested to see whether I'm correct or not, you know? I guess only time will tell. That night, our heroes go to the crystal pool again, and they're thinking that since the crystal pool allows you to speak to dead people, then maybe Terrapagos could reach out to and speak to Lucius. And that could finally get them answers. Because after all, Lucius was around like 100 years ago, so they're all assuming he's dead now, you know? So they can talk to him at the crystal pool. But then when they try and reach out to Lucius, Lucius doesn't appear before them. And dude, that's actually huge! People aren't talking about this enough for my liking. This is confirmation that Lucius isn't dead. Lucius, the ancient adventurer, is still alive out there somewhere in the world, even after 100 years. Crazy, dude. This is a massive bombshell. A massive plot reveal, you know? And this really has me theorizing too. So we know both Lucius and Gibeon are alive way beyond when they should be. They're both probably like over 100 years old. And what's something else that we know Lucius and Gibeon both have in common? They're both surrounded by the pink Racurium smoke. Gibeon is surrounded by the pink Racurium smoke at his lair, and then the last place we saw Lucius was at Rakua, surrounded by the pink Racurium smoke. Racurium is also known as the Eternal Blessing, so I really think this is heavy proof that Racurium, the Eternal Blessing, the reason it's called that is because it gives you the blessing of eternal life. Gibeon and Lucius both have eternal life right now because they're surrounded by the Racurium. That's the reason they're not dead, you know? The Racurium is keeping them alive. That's so crazy, dude. So exciting, you know? So with Lucius being kept alive by the Racurium at Rakua, and Gibeon being kept alive by the Racurium in his lair, that means someday we're gonna meet Lucius and Gibeon, you know? Liko and Roy and Dot are gonna meet them. And maybe we could even get a battle between Lucius and Gibeon. These two 100-plus-year-old men. Dude, all of this is such a huge bombshell plot reveal. I'm so hyped that Lucius is alive. So yeah, sorry to go off on that theorizing tangent, but I can't help it, dude, it's really exciting, you know? Anyway, Lucius's Kleavor is watching them all from the shadows, which is really exciting too. And I'm not gonna lie, he kind of looks like the hash-slinging slasher from SpongeBob. If you know, you know. And then the next day, Dot sees a weird Growlithe, and her Rotom phone tells her it's a Hisuian Growlithe. And Dot realizes this could be huge in finding out more about Kleavor, you know? Since Kleavor is from Hisui too. So Dot meets Growlithe's trainer, Perrin, and Perrin promises to tell her about Kleavor if she lets her take a picture, and if she has a battle with her. So Dot and Quaxwell begin battling Perrin and Leafeon, and Leafeon has the upper hand at first, winning the battle, but then Quaxwell learns Air Cutter mid-battle, and that's a really cool move for it to learn, dude. More type coverage is always great. The battle continues, and after a heavy kick to the face, Leafeon is knocked out, with Dot winning the battle. Dot brings Perrin to the Rising Voltaclers, and Perrin reveals that she's seen Lucius's Kleavor before, and that's where the episode ends, with Perrin's funny smile. Overall, this episode was great, dude. I love how it portrayed Perrin, she was so much fun. I loved how she kept taking pictures of everyone. It kind of gave me Trip vibes, you know? But in a slightly less hostile way. I also loved how it portrayed Briar, and I loved the dynamic between her and Liko and their similar paths. And dude, the reveal, the bombshell that Lucius isn't dead was huge. I can't wait to see how that unfolds. The battles with Milotic and Leafeon were fun, and yeah, I can't wait to see more of Perrin in future episodes as they get closer to Lucius's Kleavor. But my favourite part of the episode was how we saw a brief photo of Dot and her Pokemon absolutely destroying those annoying, obnoxious, irritating, pesky birds from the previous episode. No, I'm just kidding, dude, but it did make me laugh thinking back to my rage at them in the previous review. So let me know your thoughts on this episode below. Did you like it as much as I did? What was your favourite part of it, dude? And also be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed my review, that would really help me out a lot. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching, and best wishes until we meet again.